Y'all know I've been on this habeas corpus for the past week now. And I just posted a video that I did concerning the habeas corpus. I found out that my habeas corpus, that case that I filed 3 years ago, hell, baby mama never even got served. She kept moving, kept having to hire a private investigator to find out where she lives, and she kept relocating. She even left and went to Alabama at one time. But she's back here in Georgia, okay? Found out where she lives. So I called myself, was trying to get her served, but then I paid $50 to the sheriff department to serve her the original petition. However, I learned that the petition is not supposed to go to her. So I wasted $50. But those that loss of $50 was really just a lesson learned. So I'm not bitter about them little 50. Okay. I learned that you're supposed to, anytime you're filing for a writ of habeas corpus, you're supposed to send it to the judge who's over the case. The petition is supposed to go to the judge. And if you read your state statutes, it's always good to read your state statutes. I can't stress this enough. You got to read your state statutes. Here in Georgia, it doesn't mention what all habeas corpus can be used for. They use these vague terms like right here. It says, every person unlawfully imprisoned or restrained of his liberty under any pretense whatsoever may prosecute a writ of habeas corpus to inquire into the cause of such imprisonment or restraint. In Georgia, it speaks on, basically says the same thing in so many words. But this is what I found, and this is why I decided to make this video. For you guys that are on child support, and you've been fighting this shit for years, this also applies to you. Not all states say this, but they will. But child support does restrain you of your liberty, and then it does say in any pretense whatsoever. Are you not a debt slave? Do you not go to prison? Go to jail if you fail to pay child support? Do you not go to jail? Does it not say in the Constitution that no one should be in prison for a debt? Matter of fact, let's see, does it say that? Shall be. Uh-oh. Person shall not be in prison for a debt on let me try to find the Constitution. The Constitution actually says that no person shall be ever in prison for debt. That's the Texas Constitution. You gotta keep in mind, every state has a constitution, and it aligns with the actual United States Constitution. Okay. And the U.S. codes, the codes and the state codes, these are federal codes here. Every state code, they all have to be aligned with the Constitution, with the federal code, with the federal Constitution. Okay, and they all align with the codes as well. No person shall be in prison for a debt in any action or any judgment found upon a contract. See, you see all this stuff. This is all Constitution. I'm trying to find the Constitution history. Let's see. Ban imprisonment for debt. But do y'all not go to jail for not paying child support? Do they not lock you up? See, that's what makes child support unconstitutional. You ain't supposed to be going to jail and all this different stuff that this stuff that they do to you when you can't pay child support. You don't, or you refuse to pay it, or you can't pay it for whatever reason. You're just not for whatever reason. If it don't get paid, you can go to jail. They even take your license, your driver's license. They stop you from being able to move around like you want to. You don't you have the right to move around? Autonomy? That's what they call it. You're supposed to be able to move around freely. They deny you a passport if you're, what, 1,500 behind? I think it's 1,500 or 2,000. I think it's 1,500. 1,500 or more behind in child support, they stop you from even leaving the country. Keep in mind we're not going to talk about the fact that they attach this straw man to you, this body attachment. They use that to do that. These are different forms of deception that they use to have y'all locked in these contracts. And they know you don't know the language of the court. They know you don't. You're not trained. You can't even get a job doing what they do because you're not properly trained to practice what they do on a daily basis. They've been trained to do this, and they bring people in there and manipulate them into these contracts. That's what makes it unconstitutional. The fact that they use manipulation, intimidation, they use your ignorance against you. They use your fear against you. And you not knowing how the court process even goes. Most people don't even know to even file an objection into the court case before you even get there. Most people are scared to even be in the damn building altogether. And they use this energy to continue making millions off people who don't know anything about child support or how the process goes. So you thinking most guys be like, she put me on child support. She ain't got no power to put you on shit. You just don't know the game. And the officials know that you don't know the game. And those who do know the game and fight back, they still give them pushback because they try to use intimidation like threats and loud voice and, this authoritative voices from the bench. They do that to try to enforce someone into compliance, to intimidate them into compliance. That is unconstitutional. That is illegal. That is fraud. You can't use intimidation to force somebody to do something against their free will. But that's not why I made this video. That was a quick rant. But let me show you what I found. Delaware. Here we go. Special proceedings right here. Habeas Corpus, Chapter 69. Habeas Corpus. Jurisdiction to grant writs. Okay? Let me see if I can make this bigger. Can I make this bigger? Let me see. Anyway, hopefully y'all can read this. Anyway, stay with me. The writ of habeas corpus shall be awarded and issued by the Superior Court, except in cases involving child support enforcement, in which case the writ shall be awarded and issued by the family court. So keep in mind, you got to look inside your state statutes and see what it says. Not all state statutes mention child support. I was just talking to a guy that lives in Delaware, and a light bulb just went off. And I'm like, you know what? You should be able to use a habeas corpus for your situation. You're trying to get all child support. Let me go and show you what it says in Delaware. And I started looking. Because that's what I do when I talk to people one-on-one. I like to look in their state statutes and see what their state statutes actually say. It says that you can actually get one in family court in Delaware. Now, most states, like here in Georgia, Superior Court deals with habeas corpus. If you're dealing with, because just like they deal with, like family court is actually in Superior Court. So you can do it like that. But anyway, you got to look and see in your state statutes, what does it say? But it does say, it shows that child support can be dealt with. You can get a habeas corpus for child support. Say the writ may also be awarded and issued by the family court in other cases which are otherwise within its jurisdiction. A petition for the issuance of a writ of habeas corpus may be reviewed and decided by the judge issuing the order incarcerating the petitioner in the first instance. Okay, so somebody's in jail for child support. You can actually petition the courts for that as well. Okay. Persons entitled to writs. Let me see. I don't want to get into the part where, because you can use you can do a petition for a writ of habeas corpus for somebody that's detained as in jail unlawfully. You know what I'm saying? You could use it for this as that as well. But I'm specifically addressing child support because nobody ever made. I haven't seen a video where anybody said that you can actually get out child support with a habeas corpus. Now keep in mind, all of these things, all of these say that that a writ of habeas corpus can be petitioned. You can petition the court for a writ of habeas corpus if you're being restrained of your liberty in any way whatsoever. It's in any pretense, restrained of his liberty under any pretense whatsoever. And Georgia says the same thing. Okay, I showed y'all in the last video. Matter of fact, let me see. That was California. I just showed y'all right there. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, I might well close that out. I showed y'all what I want to show y'all for that. Let's see. Habeas corpus. I say OCGA because that's what I know. Habeas corpus. See, they're not all gonna say, child support, but Delaware specifically said child support. But they do in their own way. See, who can seek a writ? Any person restrained of his liberty under any pretext whatsoever. Okay. So that does if your state statutes, and most likely all of them will say that, it does apply to you. Child support does restrain you of your liberty. Okay? It does restrain you of your liberty. You should be able to take care of your child the way you want to take care of your child. Not with some court order where it puts some type of restraint on the way you live your life. Okay? You should be able to do that privately. The same way you help conceive that child privately, you should be able to take care of that child privately. Okay? Except under the sentence of a state court. There's somebody up under a sentence or whatever, but there's no. Okay. But you see right here, that's Georgia. It's Georgia right here. Okay, we're gonna see. Let me pick out a state. Let's do North Carolina. Let me see, North Carolina. Come on, click on that, goddamn it. Okay, see what it's gonna say. A defendant who is imprisoned. I ain't talking about nobody that's in prison. Let's see, authority, procedure, scope of writ. Go back out of there. I'm gonna click on that. I ain't want to look on that. I really want to look on this other website. Let's see. Constitutional provision. And see, the statutes implement the constitutional habeas corpus provision to provide a method for challenging the court's jurisdiction to imprison or restrain an individual. See also North Carolina. Rules of practice for the superior and district courts, Rule 25, regarding writs of habeas corpus in capital cases. In other words, a habeas corpus petition is used to argue that a person is being unlawfully held in custody and shall be released. Habeas corpus is not an appeal, and is not a motion for appropriate release or relief. Okay, so you got to know the difference between a motion and a habeas corpus. Okay, it is only a collateral attack on a person's custody, not a direct review of the criminal case itself. Let's see. A habeas corpus proceeding is limited to reviewing the legality of the court's jurisdiction or authority to hold a person in custody, and it may not be used to review general errors in the case. So additionally, I don't know what is this talking about. This is actually, keep in mind, this is right here, habeas corpus in North Carolina prosecutors resource online. This is like some kind of educational thing right here. Okay. Additionally, a habeas corpus petition must be sought before final judgment is entered into the case. If a defendant has already been sentenced, the writ shall be summarily denied. Let me see. Let me go back to the
Let me go to the actual codes about it. Let me see. Here we go. We like using fine. We like losing this one.
Here we go. Every court of record has the power to, upon application of any party to any suit or proceeding, civil or criminal, pending such court, to issue a writ of habeas corpus for the purpose of bringing before the said court any prisoner who may be detained in any jail, prison within the state for any cause, except a prisoner under sentence for a capital felony to be examined as a witness in such suit or proceeding in behalf of the party making the application. I ain't trying to talk about nobody in prison right now, but they just keep on talking about that. Let's see. This is why I say you got to look into your state statutes. A lot of time they be focused mainly on somebody that's incarcerated, but it's not limited to someone that's incarcerated. Okay, that's what you got to understand. Application shall be made requiring his or her attorney. Nature of the proceeding. What are they talking about right here? Contents of the application. It's telling you what got to be in there. See, service of the writ. They just talking about the process right there. But I had to basically go back to. I'm gonna focus on Delaware, because Delaware, and I'm not gonna look at all 50 states just to see if any other ones mention child support. But as you can see for yourself, child support, it talks about child support with a habeas corpus. So you do know that you can use this same strategy. You should be able to use this same strategy in your state, because they all say that someone is being restrained of their liberty in any pretext whatsoever. That's what they're saying. So let me try one more state, and I just want to kind of make this video just so y'all can understand that a habeas corpus is another route y'all can go. Let me see. Let me try Florida. See what it's gonna say. Here we go. Let me see. Writ of habeas corpus case. Is that where I want to go? That's in U.S. Let me see. Here we go. Application for a writ. Application for a writ. When a person is detained in custody rather than charged with a criminal offense or not, applies to the Supreme Court or any justice thereof. Shows affidavit, evidence, probable cause. Let's see, bond required. Application for a writ. Let's see. Okay, let's see, bond may be required. Service of writ. Let me back up some. Click on one of these. So they talk about, hold on, what was I? 79. 79 is where I was. Okay. Got all these remnants here. Let me click on this again. They're not being. Let's see. She's being detained. They're talking about somebody in custody. You see, that's why I say in a lot of these states, they're not specific. They're not going to just straight out tell you. You got to read between the lines. They use wordplay to kind of. For whatever reason, I want to say I think they do it on purpose to not be so direct and specific about what they want to say, but they have to, by law, they have to actually tell you in so many words, and you just got to read between the lines, whatever. That's what I'm thinking. That's just me, but they all will tell you in their own little way. Let's see. So I'm trying to see if this one says anything about any pretext whatsoever. Let me see. Let me come on out of there. 79 petition. Let me see. Hey, talking that's a federal code right there. I'm looking for Florida. I'm trying to look for a code in Florida. Let me click on this anyway. That's the same one. Same one. Fail to return production of the body. Any person failing to return a writ after served on him or her with cause of the prisoner's detention
or to bring the body of the prisoner before the court, justice, or judge, according to the command of the writ, for 3 days after the service, shall forfeit and pay the prisoner the sum of $300. That ain't shit. Proceeding. Let's see. Effective return
in Georgia, say if you get served a writ and you don't want to produce the body, you going to jail. You straight going to jail. They don't say nothing about paying no fee. You going straight to jail. Even though I didn't read all this, I'm really trying to find this other part. Hearing in the judge, filing of papers. Prisoners detained. See, you're talking about. Let's see. Okay, I was more so looking for what they. Maybe I need to go back some. No, I don't, because all that whole chapter was talking about. It's talking about habeas corpus. Let's see. Hearing to judgment, filing the papers. Because it's supposed to say in the beginning, like who actually can, who is, who's actually able to do this. That's what it's supposed to be saying. That's what I thought that they would be showing in Florida. But that's why I will look in other state courts just to kind of see what they're, in other state statutes to see what they say, and kind of compare with what Georgia says. It's always good to look in different states. Let's see. See what they say in Washington. Okay. Who may? Shut up, stomach. Who may prosecute a writ? Every person restrained of his or her liberty under any pretense whatsoever. See, all of them gonna say that. Most of them say that. May prosecute a writ of habeas corpus to inquire into the cause of restraint and shall be delivered therefrom when illegal. Okay, it would be good to even get a certified copy of the transcript of the court case, and that will be your evidence that you know what was said in court. If you objected even in open court, if you didn't file it in that court case and you said you objected some type of way and they railroad you in that court, you can actually use that transcript as your evidence, your supporting evidence with your petition for your writ of habeas corpus. Keep in mind, a petition is you petitioning as when you're asking for it. You're requesting, you're making a request. See, it's a request to do something, typically to a government agency or public official. Okay, that's what you're doing. You're trying to, and you're basically using that evidence to prove what you're trying to say. Formal application in writing made to a court or official body requesting judicial action of some character. See, so you type up your petition. Some states have actually, I forgot, one of these states actually have a form that they want you to use, but you can actually not have to use. You don't necessarily have to use the form, but you have to use the contents that's in the form. So just like I had people use that COL form, I said you don't have to use the COL form. You can just copy and paste those actual codes and type up your own document, and it's still effective. You don't need the form, you just need the wording. So it's up to you on how you do that. But bottom line is you get a petition and you have your evidence, your supporting evidence. If you objected to the proceeding in open court and you get a certified copy of that proceeding where you openly in open court you objected to this, and the judges railroad you and just tell you what he wanted to make you do. Keep in mind they got financial interest in those court cases. They more so caught up on trying to secure their retirement, their pension, state funding. They trying to get their federal funding from the federal government so they can get state funding. So they'll railroad you if they can. So, but if you got that petition, you got that transcript of that court case, that I will put that with the petition. It's stuff like that you can actually do to actually, just as your supporting document should go with your petition for the writ of habeas corpus. That's all I'm saying as far as that go. Let's see. Some people kind of wonder what is a habeas corpus. Just for some people that don't even know what a habeas corpus is. I should have started the video off with a definition. Let's see. The great writ of habeas corpus is a fundamental right in the Constitution that protects against unlawful and indefinite imprisonment. Okay, translated from the Latin means "show me the body." Habeas corpus has historically been an important instrument to safeguard individual freedom against arbitrary executive power. Okay, and so you understand what a habeas corpus is, that you have the body. See, you know, they create a body attachment, which y'all don't even know. They create a body attachment with the straw man, your all caps name. It's a business entity. You could use that in your petition too. It's a business entity, and they create a body attachment to it. And that's not how it's supposed to go. Notice, child support is the only debt that can be on your credit where you can go to prison for. You can have student loan, and you can be $50,000 in debt on student loans, and all they can do is put it on your damn credit. But child support will have you locked up. That's the only debt that is on your credit, that can be on your credit, and then you can actually go to jail for. They attach their body to it. They created a body attachment to it. They're not supposed to do that. That's what makes it unconstitutional, because they know you don't know that your all caps name is a business entity. It's an entity that's supposed to be separate from the man or the woman himself, him or herself. See? In the U.S. system, federal courts can use a writ of habeas corpus to determine if a state's detention of a prisoner is valid. A writ of habeas corpus is used to bring a prisoner or other detainee, institutionalized mental patient, before the court to determine the person's imprisonment or detention is lawful. To determine if it's lawful, a writ of habeas corpus proceeding as a civil action against a state agent, the state agent usually a warden who holds the defendant in custody. Say it can also be used to examine in an extradition process, use the amount of bail and the jurisdiction of the court. Okay. Let's see. I'm not gonna read this whole damn thing. It probably ain't even, I want to stick to what I originally wanted to make this video, just to show y'all that it can be used for child support too. But that's exactly what they did. That you have the body, or bring forth the body. Let's see. Show me the body. Okay. Let me see what else this one here says. Habeas corpus, any of the several common law writs used to bring a party before a court or judge. Let's see, especially habeas at, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to even go on there because I might be changing. I'm already kind of bouncing around a little bit, so I don't want to bounce even further. The right of a citizen to obtain a habeas corpus as a protection against illegal imprisonment. That's what happens to you. You go to damn jail. They're not supposed to. It's against the Constitution for you to go to jail over a debt. So that's why you need a habeas corpus to get off that shit. You're not supposed to be going to jail over a debt. So you need a habeas corpus. Emrose, signing out.